So let me ask you something. If you're renting a place here in Georgia, are you really protected if something goes wrong? I mean, are you absolutely sure? Okay, so here's a huge misconception a lot of people have. They think, oh, my landlord has insurance, so I'm covered. But that's just not how it works, and it can be a really dangerous mistake. See, that policy, it's all about protecting the building itself, the landlord's property. It does absolutely nothing for your stuff or for you if you get sued. And this is exactly what leads to what I like to call a renter's hidden risk. It's this blind spot, this gap in your financial protection that you might not even know exists until, well, until it's way too late. So let's just get right to it. Thinking you're covered when you're not, it's a huge gamble. I mean, just think about it for a second. What if there's a fire or a pipe bursts or someone breaks in? The cost of replacing everything, I'm talking your furniture, your laptop, all your clothes, the whole shebang, paying for all that out of your own pocket, that could absolutely wreck you financially. Now, this actually brings us to a really interesting situation right here in Georgia. Let's call it the Georgia protection gap. And it really boils down to one thing, knowing the difference between what the law says and what your lease says. And this really lays it out perfectly. Look, on one side, you've got Georgia state law, which says, nope, you're not legally required to have renter's insurance. But, and this is a big but, on the other side, you've got your lease, and your landlord has every right to make it a mandatory part of that lease. And trust me, most of them do.
See? That's the trap right there. It's so easy to get a false sense of security because there's no state law. But that doesn't matter. Your signed lease, that's a binding contract. That is your rulebook. It's the one you have to follow. And if you ignore it, you could be breaking your lease.
Okay, so we've pretty much established that you need this insurance. But the next question is, what does it actually cover? Because a good policy goes way beyond just protecting your TV and your sofa. It's this incredibly broad shield for your finances. All right, let's break this down. First up, you've got personal property. That's the obvious one. It's your furniture, your electronics, all your stuff. But then, look at personal liability. This one is huge. It protects you if someone gets hurt in your apartment and decides to sue you. Then there's loss of use. If, say, a fire makes your place unlivable, this covers your hotel bills. And finally, medical payments for others. This can handle smaller injury bills for a guest, which can often stop a big lawsuit before it even starts. So, after hearing all that, what do you think this kind of protection costs? You're probably going to be shocked. We're talking policies that can start as low as $10 a month. Seriously, for what you'd spend on a couple of fancy coffees, you're protecting yourself from disasters that could cost you tens, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. The value there is just, it's incredible. Now, this kind of protection is important for everybody, for sure, but it becomes even more critical when you're retired or living on a fixed income. You really need to start thinking of renter's insurance as a key part of that financial shield that's protecting your retirement. I mean, think about it. When you're on a fixed income, there's no working a few extra shifts to cover a huge unexpected bill. A lawsuit or having to replace every single thing you own after a fire, that's not just an annoyance. It can be financially catastrophic. It could completely derail the retirement you spent your whole life building. So it's really helpful to look at renter's insurance as just one piece of a bigger puzzle, a complete financial shield. It's like the first layer of defense, protecting your assets from immediate disasters. Then, on top of that, a really solid retirement plan adds other layers, right? Things like a fixed indexed annuity to guarantee your income and life insurance to protect your family's legacy. It's all about building a complete strategy so you're truly secure. At the end of the day, that's what this is all about. It's about weaving together a really strong, reliable financial safety net for you and the people you care about. And look, if you take away just one single thing from our chat today, let it be this. A cheap renter's insurance policy isn't just another bill. It's the foundation, the bedrock of a secure financial future. It's what protects everything else you've worked so hard to build. So if you want to take a closer look at your own financial shield and just make sure all your bases are covered, I really encourage you to take the next step. Go ahead and schedule a free consultation with us at Georgia Safe Retirement Planners. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in. If you want to learn more or if you're ready to schedule that free, no-obligation consultation, all the info you need is right here. And just remember, when it comes to planning for a secure retirement, it's never too early to get started.